Well, Governor Rick Scott says that we need a president that will destroy ISIS. Yeah, that's a given, that's for sure. Obama seems like he has dubious loyalty. That's quite obvious with the Iranian nuclear deal. And also how he seems to forgive people that he likes and people he don't like, he just hates, right? That's what it is. Actually, my thing is, well, the flag means, this is not really the Florida flag. This is kind of a novelty flag. Yeah, heritage, not hate, right? But, it's, I kind of look at it like rebel against the garbage, rebel against D.C. I think we ought to start exercising states' rights again, for crying out loud. I'm flying the Florida state flag now instead of the U.S. flag. Not that I'm saying I'm anti-American, but I realize a lot of the policies coming out of D.C. are horrible. States need to exercise their rights again. And, what's going on with even security of the state is being compromised by policies out of D.C. I know Trump says build a wall. I don't know about a wall. Maybe there needs to be a wall around the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., and maybe a wall around the New York metropolitan area. Actually, I'm from up there originally a long time ago. Many moons ago. Many moons ago. But, it seems like we got an infectious cancerous tumor in our country that seems to be in 2 or 3 main locations, mainly in the United States. I mean, I can't say the South is 110% perfect utopia, but it does look like a utopia compared to other places of the country when you do a side-by-side comparison. Now, this guy, Omar Mateen, he worked for G4S. And I mentioned several times before that, G4S has long been rumored to be a CIA front corporate company. You say, well, that's conspiracy theory, right? But, I'm going by, I'm not even, I've seen Alex Jones's stuff, okay? I don't like that guy. He's got another angle. It's like, I don't know what the hell the deal is with that guy. I don't trust him, to tell you the truth at all. But I got information from the Washington Post, amongst other more responsible sources. And yeah, the G4S actually was really from George Wackenhut when it was Wackenhut Corporation, and they were loaded with former CIA, NSA, and FBI, like Clarence Kelly, the FBI, Bobby Inman, who was a former director of the NSA, and also Frank Carlucci of the CIA. They all ran the place. But say for instance, there's no conspiracy, right? But you know what? I'll tell you. I'll just make this point. It's real common sense. G4S is tasked with, our border security. It guards our embassies. It guards our nuclear power plants. This guy, Omar Mateen, worked for 8 years, nearly a decade, and they couldn't figure out that this guy was going to do something like this. And basically, G4S is the government. I mean, if it's not exactly the government, but it's what the government hires. I think they got 600,000 employees. All over the world, and the government hires these people as security. They basically work for the government, even though they're a private company, and it's run by people that are really our former government, pretty much. It's basically like the government, but it's, for them to come out, even these gun control people, to come out and say, well, the citizens of this country need to be disarmed because this happened. This guy was not exactly like a citizen in a normal sense. He was working for a corporation intertwined with the government, basically as security, supposedly protecting us. And he's the one that did it. So it's like, who watches the watchers? That's the old Roman expression. And that, it best comes up that the citizens do the job, really. Actually, what would happen over here is actually an argument that could destroy gun control, because really it was not perpetrated by an average citizen. It was perpetrated by somebody that is security for the government and trained by the government, more or less, intertwined with the government. So, but I also want to tell you, maybe this is garbage information too, but you're going to repeat it again. But I can't verify the crap out of everything. I can verify certain things, like Judicial Watch talked about G4S in June 2014 bringing in other than Mexican illegal immigrants deep inside the country, along with DHS. Now that's solid information. They caught him red-handed. That's not a rumor. Now the one thing I picked up from another article was that this guy James Wesley Howell turned himself into the Santa Monica Police in California. To the police chief's name, she was Jacqueline Seabrooks. And she was, and I'm not reading this off a teleprompter, by the way, it's all memory, ain't that stupid. I remember most of it. She actually said initially that he intended to do harm to a gay pride parade event, and the police found him with, assault weapons, explosives or something, tannerite, whatever the hell it is, and handgun or some garbage. But he turned himself in. He said him, and he only knew the first names. He said there was 5 people altogether. It was him and a Dan. That the guy's first name was Dan. He was going to they were going to commit the crime against the gay pride event on the West Coast, and at the same time Omar was shooting up this place in the Pulse in Orlando. And he says there was 2 other people with Omar. One was he only knew the first name of the other one. Was Brandy and Omar. He only knew the first names, but he realized when Omar got killed. See, he was told they were supposed to escape. He realized he was going to get killed, this James Wesley Howell. So he turned himself into the police. Now, the initial story was one thing, what I told you, that Jacqueline Seabrooks, the police chief, she said that he was going to do harm to the gay pride event. And then they changed the story. He was a prowler or some shit. They changed it to that. But there's a couple police officers that came out and said, nah, it was over. He was what their deal was, and he was looking for protection because he realized that Omar, Brandy, and this other guy, which makes sense. 3 shooters, 100 people killed and wounded. I mean, that happens in the movies. That don't happen in reality. That really can't happen the way you think it does, and people are not familiar with this stuff. So James Wesley Howell realized that Omar and Brandy and the other guy got betrayed. They were killed. And so he turned himself into the police to get protection from the CIA because he figured he was going to get wasted. That's what he said. Then the FBI came in here and says to put a gag order on the local police. And they said, shut up about it, right? That's according to this article. And then, but a couple of police bravely said what the deal was. Also, I was wondering why the police in Orlando didn't try to take out this Omar initially. You know what? First I was thinking, what'd they wait 3 hours for? They were told to wait. Because they didn't have the body armor, technical equipment, all that type of stuff to engage him. So they were told to wait. They were in there. They wanted to take him out. That makes me, because at first I was thinking, what was wrong with these police waiting for 3 hours? And, at first, I got a bad impression of the Orlando police when I first heard that. But when I heard the truth, my impression went, superb. I got absolute freaking great impression of them now. They were told they had to obey orders to wait. I don't know what the hell's going on in police, but you know what? It seems like they ought to have, you can't walk around with body armor. I know that. Especially when it's so freaking hot out in Florida. Damn, it'd be nice if they had some crap in the car they could grab or something, go in the trunk and grab some class 3, class 3 body armor or something, Kevlar helmet or something, do something. Because, police got a tough job a lot. Well, it depends. I don't know. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes they give traffic tickets for rolling through stop signs. Sometimes they got some real dangerous shit they do. But it looks like this Omar guy was supposed to escape, and it probably was a setup, man. Probably was a setup. And if you look at what's going on with immigration policy and all that, it's designed to freaking destroy our nation by just leaving the borders wide open. And they also got a policy for disarming Americans. That's an Obama Hillary thing, right? Doesn't it's like this event, what happened here, goes right toward that. But when you get the real truth out, it's almost like when I initially heard about, I heard stories about, there actually was accurate information about the police taking, didn't really engage the guy, try to take him down as much because till the SWAT team came in here, they were told not to do that. That's what it was. But just like a lot of other things, some people on the internet are picking up that there's there's a couple crisis actors involved in this thing, and you're thinking erroneously that there was no shooting. I'm like, whoa, man, don't go down that freaking rabbit hole. Yeah, maybe there was a couple crisis actors involved. I don't know. But you know what? There was a shooting, man. A lot of people got killed and wounded. There's no doubt about that. It really did happen. But it looks like, I think it was, you know, and I don't even want to think nothing bad about the CIA or the FBI, but I realize that there's definitely rotten core elements in the CIA and the FBI. Definitely. I mean, you see them like that sometimes in the police, you know. It's sad to say. There's always some. There's always some. Nothing's perfect. Everything's human element, right? That's exactly the way the hell it is. I mean, it's like, you can't be anti-government and anti-police, but then again, you got to have a watchful eye out for, because everybody's human, right? There's always something going on. This Omar guy, though, you know, if you really want to cut down to exactly, because I don't know if you know if it was radical Islam that made him do this, because according to James Wesley Howell, he was supposed to escape. Him and his two accomplices, one of them was Brandy, they were supposed to escape. And when he realized, James Wesley Howell, he was one of the guys, him along with this other Dan guy, only knew the first name. He was supposed to do something to the gay pride event at the West Coast at the same time. When he realized Omar got killed and they got betrayed, he says, "Oh man, the CIA is going to kill me," because that's the story anyway. You know, maybe it's a conspiracy theory. I don't know. I mean, really, how do I know? How would I know for sure? I got an article that states that supposedly it's legit. I mean, but I also have articles from the Washington Post years ago stating that G4S in Wackenhut, which was known as before, from George Wackenhut, has always been rumored to be a CIA front corporation. But even if they were a CIA front corporation, you're thinking they're all good guys. Well, it kind of tells you the government can't protect us, because this guy basically was working for a bunch of people that are former government, this Omar, for almost 10 years, and they couldn't figure out that this guy was bad apple. So, I mean, it kind of goes right against the freaking Obama rhetoric about civilians are the problem. Yeah, bullshit. It's you, buddy. It's you all the way, man. You put a wall around D.C., man. I mean, I think a wall around D.C. would make more sense than freaking a wall around with Mexico. There's probably less problem with people coming from Mexico than there is from D.C. D.C.'s got so much garbage coming out, it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's my update on it. So, Rick Scott, I agree with you. We need a president that's going to go after ISIS. Or actually, we need a president that's going to stop writing checks to ISIS, because, they're getting funded by us somehow, one way or the other. And this flag here, I kind of like this flag. It should be our state flag. I'm from up New Jersey, but I got Confederate lineage from South Carolina, actually. And I also got American Revolutionary War lineage from South Carolina. But I was born and raised up in New Jersey, up in New York City. But, I like that even better. But you know what? I don't know, people might find it offensive, but I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, I don't even look at it like heritage, I look at it like, stars and bars meant the same thing that what it meant when we were fighting against the British when we were the colonies. It was about taxation. I realized that. The South broke away from the North over taxation. They're pissed off even way back in the 1700s when the, the Revolutionary War was being mainly paid for by the South from tariffs on cotton. They're pissed off about it again in 1828 and 1832 when they raised the tariff, and then Abe Lincoln came in. And, he's a minority president, basically. He got in on a minority of the votes, four-way race, and he did a lot of bad things, actually, that guy. I mean, that's the thing. They wreck history way back when, and they go with that thing and they just screw up everything. The South was right, man. The South was right. The South wasn't racist either. That's bullshit. I mean, these guys are like, they're always putting out all these things about the way history was, but Abe Lincoln wasn't a good guy either. He wasn't a good guy. Another guy from the North, Illinois, like Hillary. and from D.C. And, you know, maybe Hillary's going to suspend habeas corpus and declare martial law if she ever gets in, like Abe Lincoln did, right? We don't need that. So, you know, maybe we need to secede from the Union, right? Like that, right there. I'm all for that, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm kind of putting this out in a nonchalant way, but I can tell you, I'm really all for that. Right now, yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, we'll stick with D.C. for a while. But if Hillary gets in, I am definitely for seceding for the Union. Definitely. No kidding. Really. Because she's going to probably sign up ISIS to man our nuclear warheads. Knowing her, right? Because she got a speaking fee from them or something. You know how that deal is, right? So anyway, Rick Scott, I'm on your side. I mean, I mean, maybe you ain't perfect either. You know, I mean, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. But you know, when you look at the grand scheme of things here, you look like a saint compared to Mr. Obama. I can tell you that right now. That's where I'm coming from. Over and out.